Hello everybody and welcome to episode 2 of Things That Can Fuck Off, the podcast that simply lists and analyses things that can fuck off forever. After the 30-minute opening episode last week, which was admittedly way too long, I've decided to try very hard to keep all future episodes, including this one, much shorter and therefore hopefully more frequent, more uploads for you. So do subscribe if you end up liking me ripping the piss out of Stranger Things Season 4. Needless to say, this episode does contain one or two spoilers. Also, whilst it is a audio episode, as it is a podcast, there will be occasional images that pop up on YouTube to illustrate some points that I make. Now, at the time of recording, I'm just about to start watching episode 7 of the current series, Series 4, of Stranger Things, and in a way, I'm glad that every episode is as long as the Hobbit movie, because it means I get 2 weeks of evenings in the company of Hawkins residents, and I don't have to face the alternative, which is obviously endlessly scrolling through streaming services for something to watch. Although weirdly, it does take less time to scroll through 3,000 comedy movies on Netflix than it does to watch half an episode of Stranger Things. Fun fact. So I haven't actually finished watching the entire season 4 at the time of recording, so if you're on YouTube and you leave a comment, don't be angry if I don't reply to comments for a day or two. I don't want to spoil too much what I'm going to watch. You'll be pleased to know that I have had the big reveal spoiled for me already, which, by the way, was entirely my own fault, by simply typing one character's name into Google, and you know who it is if you've seen episode 7, and there it was. I typed the character's name into Google, and there it was, a big fat spoiler. Therefore, another thing that can fuck off is me and Google and fucking spoilers in general, for crying out loud. I'll start by reminding you of the big gap between the previous season to season 4. 3 years has passed since they recorded 3 and 4. 3 years and all the children look the same age, which is either a vast amount of money spent on CGI or weird as fuck. What is going on? Now, the first episode of Stranger Things can fuck off, especially the first episode. What a shit opening to a season that was. There was a basketball match that I didn't care about. 11 is now called Jane and is bullied for reasons that are never explained, ever. Even the dumbest bullies in the world would try and justify their bullying somehow. Maybe their target is a nerd. You know, they go around bullying nerds all the time. Or maybe the bully is a racist or something like that. But 11's bullies, the bullies of 11, to put it precisely, seems to be the whole fucking school, and for seemingly no reason whatsoever. The entire premise of her being bullied can fuck off. Fuck off! There's a game of Dungeons and Dragons that I didn't care about, which mirrored the basketball game I also didn't care about, and those scenes were there just so they could add approximately 1 million new characters to the show, most of which are annoying! There's a bunch of jocks, but basketball jocks, so they're not real jocks, and some heavy metal dudes, I think, including some supposed kid who looks and sounds like a 25-year-old Robert Downey Jr. His name is Eddie Munson, and if you've seen the film Kingpin, I don't need to make a joke about his surname, but it really is apt for Stranger Things Season 4. This guy, Eddie, has already jumped on a desk and shouted a lot, so I'm not sure him being a ringleader of some shitty board game club added anything to the show. We already know that most of the characters are geeks. It's rammed down our throat from Season 1 onwards. All that fucking board game bit gave us was the name Vecna, and that wasn't even in that episode, it was later on. So overall, it's a tedious piece of shit, the first episode. It was such a slog to finish, and because of that, I wrote the following thing on Facebook. Excuse me. Stranger Things Season 4 Episode 1 was dog shit. It was so tedious, it made no sense at all, and all the new characters are annoying. It's really disappointing. So, guys, is it worth sticking with this series, or is it terrible forever? Now, I've got 4 replies. One person simply wrote wrong. Another person wrote give it a chance. Another person wrote best series yet in my opinion, although I would agree the pizza delivery guy is super fucking annoying. And another guy said, just watch from episode 2 onwards, because you know who these people are, so you'll be fine. In a nutshell, it just gets better once pieces start moving into place. Now, it's got a point there. And if I read that correctly, just start from episode 2 onwards, it's all well and good, but you wouldn't have any idea who all the fucking annoying characters were if you didn't start from the start. Anyway, we're eventually introduced to this season's main villain, who is a naked being with, I think, their tentacles. And side note, after watching the latest episode of The Boys on Amazon, Vector now makes me think of Love Sausage every time I see him, particularly the burnt version of Love Sausage. And if that doesn't make any sense to you, then you're not watching the right programs, and I can't be asked to explain, so it's your fault. You should fuck off on that basis. Now, the jury is out on Vecna. I'm not sure a slow-walking bad guy who only really says people's names over and over again is scary. The bats in episode 6, is it? 5 or 6? That attacks Steve, and the eerie landscape of the dark upside-down world is much more effective than the bad guy himself. Plus, he looks like he isn't wearing any pants. And it looks like they've poorly airbrushed out his genitals if you're watching on YouTube. Therefore, people in my house who watch Stranger Things have nicknamed the bad guy Penelope Pantsoff. And that's how I shall refer to Vecna from now on. We're very mature people who watch Stranger Things in my household. Now, it's nice to see the actor Robert Englund in episode 2 as Victor Creel, but it was a fleeting glimpse of that actor where he played someone even more over the top than Freddy Krueger, which I didn't think was possible, but there you go. Now, the whole Joyce and Murray go to Russia storyline doesn't actually make any sense, and therefore can fuck off. Fuck off! Why would you leave the country on a whim? There's not any information about, like, it's not even certain it's Hopper who's contacted them, you know, it's like the hunch of all hunches. It doesn't seem right to travel all that distance on that basis. How on earth did she get the bank to loan her $40,000? That's never cleared up. And why would you not bring a bigger coat to fucking Russia? Later, another new character, who I'm going to call Napoleon Dynamite, he dies. And just like Carrie, is it, in the first episode? The cheerleader. And I think, good. Thank God that's happened. One less annoying actor. Just 5 million more to go. Yuri, the Russian with the plane, he can fuck off. Just fuck off, mate. Yeah, we get the joke. You laugh at stuff all the time that only you find. We get it. We've got after 2 times. You don't have to do it 18 times, mate. Fuck off. Fuck off. Can we have some more monsters and superpowers and romance now? Yeah, my Netflix subscription has gone up in price and it's paid for actors that I don't give a shit about. Now, we all know the character Max from the previous series. Obviously she's in this one as well. The ginger girl, sister of Billy, I think it was, wasn't it? The ginger girl with a miserable expression. Looks like a bulldog eating piss off a nettle. She's such a miserable cow, isn't she? She's a ginger, right? And she's almost got a ginger monobrow. Yeah? Like the artist Frida Kahlo. I mean, I need to clarify that Max hasn't quite got a monobrow, but it's close, isn't it? You give it a few years, and that'll be all the way across her face, won't it? Interestingly, I couldn't remember the name Frida Kahlo when I was thinking about this episode, so I googled artist with on Google, and it auto-completed with unibrow. Now, I did not know there were 2 words to describe a monobrow, but now I do. Unibrow suggests a poor personal grooming period during your time at college. And to return to an earlier point, that would be a legitimate reason to bully someone. I'm just saying. Notice I could have gone route 1 there and suggested that Max be bullied because she's a ginger, but I didn't do that. I went for the far more mature reason that her eyebrows almost, but not quite, meet in the middle, and you cannot argue with that sort of logic. If Stranger Things was set in modern times, it wouldn't last 1 episode, would it? As Kate Bush would reveal, and this actually happened in real life, Kate Bush would reveal that she voted Conservative because, and I quote, she liked Theresa May and no other reason. And the kids would run towards the upside down world just to get away from that stupid statement, and then Brexit would happen and we would never be able to differentiate between what's real and upside down ever again, and then the demon bats would eat us because we wouldn't have any oars to beat them away because they were stuck in freight queues in Calais and subject to import costs, and then we'd all die, and then Boris would get elected again somehow. It would be shit. And that's why I'm glad that Stranger Things is set in the past, aka the good old days where all you had to worry about was people flinging roller skates at your face, which is far less depressing than 2022. But what can fuck off the most about Stranger Things is the fact that I'm glued to the screen, despite not caring about Eleven getting her powers back or not. And Hopper's only acting thus far is mainly him going, ow, that fucking hurts, over and over again. And that's it. And despite the fact that it's been announced that, okay, so this season of Stranger Things is split into 2 sections, right? It's 7 episodes now, and then another certain amount of episodes from the start of July onwards, not long to go. And I still watch it and care about Stranger Things, despite the fact that it's just been announced that episode 9 will be 2.5 hours long, which I reckon I could watch in about 18 sittings. I love Stranger Things Season 4 as much as I fucking hate it. And it can thoroughly fuck off, but not until I've watched the whole thing, maybe twice or 3 times. I haven't decided yet. If I was going to give this series a rating, I'd give it like 4 Penelope Pants off out of 5, but begrudgingly I do that. And that's it. That's my roundup of Stranger Things. This time, just over 11 minutes and counting. So much better time-wise than the previous episode. Hopefully they'll be nice and short like this in the future and packed full of jokes and stuff. So if you like this, do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and eventually, I haven't done it quite yet, I'll put these up on places like Spotify, the audio version, and wherever you get your podcasts. If you want a particular place to listen to it, then do let me know in the comments, and I'll stick it on that service. If you really, really enjoyed this, and you're mental in the cost of living crisis era that we live in, and are rich as well, key things that go together there, then you can give me $1 of your money, your hard-earned money, via PayPal or Patreon. The links are below on YouTube, and that sort of encourages me to make more episodes. I'm going to make more, but if I'm feeling lazy one day and some money comes into my account, you bet your ass I'm going to turn my computer on and write some jokes. And if you really like this, can you please share it on Twitter or on social network, because this is a tiny channel and there is very limited audience, so let's spread that around a bit, spread the love. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an Anti-Social Media production, and I'll see you next time sometime soon. And see you later. Bye-bye.